All right, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamal Lewis. I'm the Economic Opportunity Manager for the Partnership for Inclusive Innovation, and welcome to today's Smarter Together webinar. The webinar series touches upon how multidisciplinary applied research, technology, and economic opportunity can be used to make a community impact and improve the human condition. I'm very excited to introduce this week's webinar, which features the Small Business Majority's Georgia Outreach Manager, Rachel Shanklin, and a panel of our local statewide partners to discuss access to capital and building a resilient small business economy. Again, I have the great pleasure of introducing to you our moderator for today's panel, Rachel, who is our Georgia Outreach Manager for Small Business Majority. After Rachel's introduction, she will introduce and bring in our other panelists to add to the discussion. That will be followed by a brief Q&A session with any remaining time. Please remember, we welcome your questions in the corresponding chat area throughout the presentation. Rachel, please feel free to begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Jamal, and thank you to the Partnership for Inclusive Innovation for hosting this event. As Jamal mentioned, I am Rachel Shanklin. I'm the Georgia Outreach Manager for Small Business Majority. Just a quick overview of our organization. We are a national 501c3 small business organization dedicated to empowering America's diverse entrepreneurs to build a thriving and inclusive economy. We work with business owners across the nation. I manage all of our Georgia operations, really to bring together folks to look at what resources are available, specifically to underrepresented entrepreneurs that may not know what resources are available to them in the small business community. We partner with business organizations like those that are going to be speaking today, as well as Partnership for Inclusive Innovation. And today we're talking about access to capital. And these past 2 years have been a roller coaster, if a good word is that's a good word to use, but especially for small businesses, as you all know. Capital is the lifeblood to any business, whether you're first starting out or you're growing and sustaining your business. But especially small businesses that have been particularly hit by COVID-19 have had a struggle finding access to capital, especially with the federal relief coming to an end. We have a group of panelists here today that are experts from across the state to speak about access to capital resources that are available for your small business, how to get involved, and how to get connected. So with that, I would like to introduce our first panelist, Ricardo Cordew, who is with Newtown Macon. I believe that they cover the Macon area as well as surrounding regions. So with that, I would like to introduce Ricardo. Thank you so much for being here, Ricardo, and I'm going to turn it over to you to share about your organization.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for having us today. Appreciate you. And so again, my name is Ricardo Cordew. I'm the business consultant here at Newtown Macon, Newtown Loans. So Newtown Macon has been around for over 25 years, and our first goal was to try to redo downtown Macon. With that, we want to bring jobs, we want to help people become established business owners in the community. And so about 2 years ago, we introduced Newtown Loans, which is officially a CDFI community development financial institution that we got actually put in place in September of last year. So with that, the reason why we enjoy what we do is because we like to help people, and we're looking to help people through education, through TA education. So we actually introduced some group training programs, the Developers Academy, Entrepreneurs Academy, and Downtown Diversity Initiative, which we do once a year. And what we've seen is that there's a lot of people who are wanting to do businesses, that want to do real estate, but they were not able to have the education behind it, and then they didn't have the access to capital. So now we're able to train people. We actually train about 150 people a year through these classes, and they graduate and we have some great stories. As you can see down at the bottom, we have a father-son team who actually is right now helped them purchase the building downtown Macon, and that was a product of our Entrepreneur Academy classes. Also, we offer loan products. So we offer small business loans anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for micro loans, and then we do loans up to $4 million also when it comes to real estate loans. So we have a wide variety of businesses. We have ownership, we have development projects when it comes to redoing blighted housing. So we have a lot of different things that we offer as an organization that allows people to really have access to capital like never before. And we, like our one-on-one coaching, also do QuickBooks training. So we just have so many different resources that we're looking to help people out in our community. So we serve Macon mainly, plus the Warner Robins and some of the adjacent areas for Central Georgia. So, but we are excited and growing. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ricardo. That was wonderful information. If you are interested in getting in touch with Ricardo, we will be sharing a recording of this webinar today, as well as the slides if you registered with the email that you registered with. Next up, we have Karen Davis with the USDA Rural Office of Rural Development. Thank you, Karen, for being here with us today, and we are looking forward to hearing you share.
Okay, well, USDA Rural Development is known for many different programs, but I'm the director of the business programs. We have available funding that is catered to some small businesses and some large businesses. On this first screen, I have my contact information. Also, most people now are having to enter any grant type application through grants.gov. We also have ag production that's a separate agency, farm service agency, the website there. And also with our program, we're concentrated on helping meat and poultry processing for some of the areas of the state that don't have access to that. So next slide, Jamal. So under business programs, like I said, we have quite a few different programs. We have our business industry loan guarantee program that is similar to SBA. Generally, SBA can go up to 5 million. Our program can actually go up to 25 million. So it is for the larger type projects that might need assistance, where you would make application to a bank, and then they would actually come to us for a guarantee. The new program is the food supply chain loan guarantee. That is a program that is established for the middle of the food supply chain. It is not the ag producer. It's not the retailer. It's the one that distributes or stores or processes those products to get them on the shelves in grocery stores. And the good thing about the food supply chain is there's no fees that would have to pay. Under our regular guarantee program, there's a 3% fee. So again, it's advantageous for both the lender and the borrower to use the program. We also have our Rural Energy for America program, and that is where you need energy efficiency or you need renewable energy, one of the two. And I see that as assisting small businesses that need to watch their energy consumption. And let's say they need new lighting, LED lights, or they need new coolers for their businesses. So that's something that you could come to our agency for. There is a grant component on that REAP, our Rural Energy. It can pay up to 25% of the total project. So again, you have to inject 75%. Now for smaller loans, we're looking at intermediaries because we have an intermediary lending program. The contacts are on our website. That's where you actually make an application to the intermediary. And generally that's where a project goes to the bank, an applicant does, can't fund, the bank will not fund 100% of it. So generally the bank does 50%, the intermediary does 40%, and then the borrower injects 10%. Those loans are limited to approximately $250,000. So that's something you can look at for smaller type businesses. Then we have the Rural Micro Entrepreneur Assistance Program. 2 of our intermediaries are involved in this program. They actually can go up to 50,000. So that's something you can look at as far as a small business. Our Rural Economic Development Loaning Grant requires an intermediary, and the intermediary is a cooperative that will assist with the loan. The cooperative actually makes the loan to the agency, and then once the agency approves it, then they basically pass through that loan to the business. That's a 10-year loan, 0 interest, and is also a smaller loan. I think the maximum right now is $1 million on the loan. The grant part is actually to the cooperative to establish a revolving loan fund. So it is not a grant to the actual business. As you see over in the right-hand column, the grants I just spoke about, the REAP program. We also have a new program for meat and poultry processing that is to assist with more processing of meat. It is a grant. It does have deadlines. Don't have time to go into all of it, but you can contact us. Also for a grant, the Value Added Producer Grant here in Georgia has been very effective in helping small businesses to take their product and add value to it, such as we have some wineries that have asked for this grant, and value, of course, to grapes. And that is a working capital grant and a planning grant. Let's say if you have a product that you want to do a feasibility study or a market study, there's the planning grant that would help with that. Also, we have our Rural Business Development Grant, which the deadline closed in February. It is one time a year that it is announced and application selected. It does have to be a nonprofit or public body that wants to help a small emerging business. And usually that's less than 50 new employees or less than $1 million in gross revenue. We have had applicants that are like city or county that wants to establish a revolving loan fund and lend to the business, or to complete infrastructure type expansion to those businesses. Our Rural Innovation Stronger Economy is a partnership that is to ultimately help the business, but you can't actually apply for it as a business. That is where we're looking at innovation centers that are going to provide technical assistance to small businesses to help them get to the point of being profitable in their actual business. Other programs that we have under USDA, under business programs, we have a bio-preferred program, a higher blends infrastructure incentive program. That's where they're putting more pumps into convenience stores to take those higher blends. And then we have a rural business investment program where a group actually invests in the business. We have lots of opportunities through our program. A lot of people think that we're USDA, so we must be only in ag production, but we have funded hotels, nursing homes, assisted living, manufacturers. So there's quite a few different kind of industries that are eligible for our program. I hope you will take the information. This is very brief, but if you will contact us, we'll give you more information and help you with the process. And with that, thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. That was wonderful, a wonderful presentation. And yes, I know I did not know that the USDA did more than just ag. So definitely reach out to Karen and her team if you are interested in learning more information. Moving on right down the line, it's my pleasure to introduce Philip Thomas with Access to Capital for Entrepreneurs, which is a community development financial institution. And Philip, thank you so much for being here with us today. We're looking forward to hearing about your organization. I'll hand it over to you.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Rachel, and Jamal. Just really quick, my name is Philip Thomas. I'm actually dropping my information in the chat. So it pretty much lists everything from my email to cell phone number. And, again, feel free to reach out. But just a little bit about myself. I come in from a traditional bank and started to actually work with a CDFI for the reasons I'm going to be kind of going over here later. But, again, I kind of have a background of the traditional world along with the CDFI space. As far as the ACE, stands for Access to Capital for Entrepreneurs. Again, if you want to move, kind of move through the slides or whatnot, it's totally fine, Jamal. It's not anything specific. Just kind of wanted to give them a taste of kind of who we are and what we do. But in the meantime, again, we specialize in lending to entrepreneurs. Our CEO started this company 20 plus years ago. It started as a company, not a company, but an organization to lend directly to women-owned businesses, which then led to focusing on women-owned and minority-owned businesses. It's really taken off. We serve over the metro Atlanta area. Really great reputation in the community, and just continue to want to strive for that. We serve again clients that literally are in the metro Atlanta area. But most importantly, those that are underserved when it comes to actual the specs and things of actually obtaining a loan through us. Our credit requirements, drop down to actually 600 to kind of create a little bit more opportunity for the underserved. And again, our focus, still stays the same. The type of lending, if you want to go to the type of lending that we have, that was that one sheet, Jamal, that one sheeter. And the type of lending that we do, we actually have two sectors. So we have micro loans and then we have commercial loans. Our micro loans are basically 50,000 and under. Our commercial loans are 50,000 and up. We do anything upwards. I tell people, I'm working on a real estate situation that's possibly what was a little bit close to $2 million. So again, kind of have an appetite for it all. The types of loans, real estate purchasing, equipment financing, working capital, real estate refinancing, inventory, vehicles. Those are the types of appetites that we have. And again, we're just, super excited to be able to help entrepreneurs that are trying to, get to that next level. Again, if there's anything else that you all need or, would like to know about ACE, no ifs, ands, or buts, don't hesitate. Even if it's just questions, just shoot me an email. Let's connect so that we can, just have a small consultation and we'll just go from there. But thank you so much for giving me the time and opportunity.
Trying to get unmuted here. Thank you, Philip. That was wonderful. Access to Capital for Entrepreneurs is one of Small Business Majority's partners, and we do ongoing access to capital events. So stay tuned for upcoming events with us. Definitely reach out to Philip or anyone on his team. They are a great resource. In addition to access to capital, something that is paired with access to capital is financial literacy, business education. And with that, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Lyndon Jackson with Operation Hope, who's going to speak a little bit about Operation Hope's programming for small businesses, specifically underrepresented businesses. Lyndon, thank you so much for being here. Would you mind sharing your screen and giving us a little bit more information about your organization? Oh, I think you're still on mute.
Yes, unless I unmuted at first, I always end up forgetting. But thank you so much for having me here. It is an incredibly crazy time for us here at Operation Hope, simply because we are transferring our client management system over. And, it's not always a very smooth process. So there are bumps and bruises to be had along the way. So I am going to, let's see, I want to find the share feature here. Give me 1 second. I've got so many things filling up the screen. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to hit share, and hopefully this will work. Okay. And I'm going to talk really fast. I've got a bunch of slides to zip through, so I don't really want to take up a lot of time with them. But okay, can everybody see the blue slide there?
Lyndon, we can see it. We're just having a little bit of static when you're speaking. I'm not sure if it's your microphone or not.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that. Okay, well, I'll try to talk little and show more. Let's see. Hang on one second. Okay, I think it's to where I can work with it. Okay, so real quick, my name is Lyndon Jackson with Operation Hope. I'm a financial well-being coach over credit and money management, as well as small business development. We've got a lot of programs at Operation Hope designed to help businesses, individuals, disaster victims, purchasing homes, youth entrepreneurship, just a myriad of different programs. We've got some new ones that just popped up, in particular, the Financial Literacy for All program. I'll touch base on that shortly. But right now we're celebrating 30 years of helping the community. We've helped millions of people with billions of dollars getting inflected into communities, transforming lives on unprecedented levels. And, we're on track to continue our progression. We have an adult empowerment program funded by dozens of partners. I've looked around and seen that there are many other organizations that offer programs similar to ours for a fee. I just want you to know that all of our programs come at absolutely no cost to our clients. This is a picture of our founder, CEO, and chairman, John Hope Bryant. He has so graciously reached into his own pockets and even re-injected $2.5 million of his own money back into the company, leading to bonuses for a lot of the staff. So he really believes in what Operation Hope is doing, especially in lieu of the COVID situation over the last few years. So we stand to continue moving forward with helping a lot of people. This is some highlights of our small business development program, which includes an 8-week entrepreneur training course. You walk away with a business plan. We have other opportunities, other programs that also help you develop a business plan as well. We provide technical assistance, as well as mentors, subject matter experts. We help you with finding resources that can help you, whether it's through loans or grants. And here are just briefly some pros and cons of starting your own business. I won't get into all of them, but please feel free to insert your email address into the chat if you'd like me to contact you with more information. I'll also put my information up with the last slide. These are various components of a business plan. We talk about all of these things during the entrepreneur training program, as well as overviews of legal entities. And as you know, there are quite a bit of different legal entities that you can file with the Secretary of State with. And of course, you do know that, the 3 main things to get your business started is an EIN number, registration with the Secretary of State, and getting a business bank account. And Operation Hope has dozens of relationships with banks. So from Truist to Bank of America, we have a lot of different banks. So when it comes down to access to capital, we can always put you in touch with a banking partner. We also discussed this disaster preparedness and recovery. We actually have a kit or a guide. And again, if you're interested in receiving that, I'll be happy to get your email address and send it to you. I'll show it to you in a minute. We've got 2 different guides that can help you. You should also do some research and think about what kind of exit strategy or strategy you might have in place just in case a disaster does pop up on you. A lot of people don't think about that, but we definitely urge you to look at that at an earlier point and set aside a plan for any kind of disaster. And speaking of disasters, Operation Hope got into the disaster recovery area after the 9/11 attacks of 2001. Since then, we've responded to over 110 federally declared disasters, and we've served over 1 million people thus far. And that emergency financial aid kit I was mentioning earlier, this is it right here. There's also a personal disaster preparedness guide. I'd love to send it to you at no cost, just for being on this webinar. And it explains a lot of things that also help cover senior citizens that might need help. Additionally, we also help with tax information with regards to the earned income tax credit. So we can, help you with recovering some money that might have disappeared on you during the wake of the COVID situation. We also have a volunteer income tax assistance program. What I do, as far as my job is concerned, is I work around the Minority Business Development Agency's Enterprising Women of Color initiative. And this is where we help find minority women business owners and provide them with financial counseling, various workshops, resources that help their businesses grow. It's also designed to promote women of color entrepreneurs as engines of economic growth in their communities. We've got a lot of activities scheduled throughout the year, as you can see, going all the way into the latter part of 2022, and even more information is coming regarding that. I also have this 8-week entrepreneur training program, which I mentioned earlier. We dive deep to help you with developing your business plan. Every week we touch base on a different situation, whether it's access to capital, the retail, marketing, just a lot of different things. So I do one of those per quarter. My next one starts next Thursday. That's packed up. So I'll be looking to take on more enrollees for the July cohort that starts around the middle of July. Want to briefly touch base on our 1 million Black business initiative.
Lyndon. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. For the sake of time, we're gonna have to move on to the next couple of folks because we still have to do the moderating discussion. But we can, if you send me these slides, we can definitely send it to register.
That's fine. I was almost finished. I just had 4 left. I'll just go on through to the very last slide with my contact information on it. And that's it right here. And I do appreciate your time and allowing me to mention what Operation Hope is out there doing. I appreciate you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lyndon. And yes, do check out Operation Hope. They have a plethora of resources to get connected as a small business. So moving right along, I'm going to introduce my colleague, Stephanie Bolden with Lift Fund. She is a Senior Business Development Officer at Lift Fund. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for being here today.
Sorry, I'm talking and not unmuted. How are you doing today? All right, as mentioned, my name is Stephanie Bolden and I'm the Senior Business Development Officer here. And let me see if I can make this a little bit better so you don't see everything. Oh, what am I doing? Let's see if I can fix this right quick. I apologize. As mentioned, I'm Stephanie Bolden with Lift Funds, and I am the Senior Business Development Officer here. And what we do is we provide access to capital for startups, as well as expanding businesses that are not able to go directly to a bank to obtain funding. We provide that access to help business owners start or grow their business. We also provide technical assistance to help the business owners either establish their business. I'm sorry, I was hearing something in the background. Also establish their business, as well as make the necessary steps to keep that business to grow, help that business to grow. So to begin with, we're going to look at our record. Since being established in 1994, we got our start back in San Antonio, Texas, and we have dispersed over 24,000 loans, and that's shows $411 million that has been dispersed through 15 states. Georgia is one of the newest locations that we've established, and this was established in 2016. And as mentioned, we do cover the entire state of Georgia. Borrower profile. So basically our makeup, we provide loans to 85% minorities. 36% of our loans have gone to startups, women, and 10%, 33% to women and 10% to veterans. When Lift Fund supports various types of businesses, as you can see, we provide loans to restaurants, trucking, construction type, and startup businesses. The ones, it's easier to mention which ones we don't support, and because we support so many, the ones that we cannot support at this time would be those businesses that engage in adult entertainment in the CBD industry, or other lending institution or gaming institutions. We cannot, gambling institutions, we cannot provide funding for. Now, what products are we offering? We have veteran loans, and these loans are fixed interest rate loans at 5% for low to moderate income areas. If your business is located in that area, or if if you reside in that area, you can also benefit from that. And this can also count towards your spouse. If your spouse is a veteran, you can benefit from that. If you're not in the low to moderate area, it would be a 7% fixed interest rate, and this loan goes up to $50,000. We also have working capital loans, and these loans are there to help, and those loans can go up to $250,000 as well. And we have startup loans, and this is a true startup where the business has not generated any income, but the business must show that it has an outside revenue source to make the payments until the business itself can sustain itself. So that's for our startup. And then we also have expansion loans. These are for businesses that may be operating within their home and now are ready to get an outside location, or just ready to expand and grow their business in any form. We'll be glad to help. We also provide equipment purchase loans for those businesses that may have been renting an equipment. Now they can purchase that equipment and take out that middleman. And we also offer SBA loans. These are SBA-backed loans where we use the SBA guarantee to cover where collateral may be weak in some instances. That's what we use the guarantee for. These loans also go up to $250,000, and they have a 10-year term. For any of our loan products, there is no prepayment penalty and no application fee. And the starting credit range is 580. However, the higher your credit score, that does allow you to get the higher loan product, of course. We do have some new products that are available right now. Because of COVID, we implemented the 0% interest disaster loan up to $25,000. And this is only available in the metro Atlanta area. And that's one product. And then we have a secondary product through SOAR. And this is in combination with various CDFIs within not only Georgia, but in other locations such as Texas and North Carolina. But they allow you to get up to $100,000 with this loan program. And I believe the interest rate is fixed at 4%. And for the first year of this loan, it is interest only that you pay on that. Be glad to discuss any of these products with you. And one new product that we have just implemented is the real estate loan for established businesses. And I have a quick flyer. Let me see if I can stop sharing, share that one with you right quick. Yeah, maybe not. But that, I'll go back to this. That particular flyer is discussing that. I will be glad to share that with you if anyone is interested, but it's for businesses that have been established for at least 2 years, and it provides loans up to $500,000 for commercial real estate, as well as residential real estate, where you are renting multi-purpose homes. So those are some options that we have available. Again, my name is Stephanie Bolden, and with Live Fund, and I'll be glad to discuss the options are available that we have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Great presentation. And again, Lift Fund is a great place to look if you are not trying to go to a bank per se. They are willing to work with you. Stephanie is a great partner of ours. So please do reach out to her with any questions that you may have. Our last and final panelist is Tonita McKnight with Albany Community Together. She is going to share with you all about some resources and information about their organization. Hi, Tonita. Thanks for being here with us today.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you are loud and clear. Gotcha.
Awesome, awesome. Had some technical difficulties here, but we just have to adapt, especially with this pandemic. So thank you for having us. My name, again, is Tonita McKnight. I'm with Albany Community Together. I am the Business Development Officer, and we are headquartered in Albany, Georgia, although we cover a larger geographical footprint. We cover 38 counties in Southwest Georgia, going as far up as Macon and over to the Alabama state line and down to the Florida state line. Now, our mission is to build wealth and create economic opportunities in Georgia by providing affordable access to capital and business support services to aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners in those areas. And the way we do that, we break that down into 3 sections. We do coaching, we do capital, we do connections. The coaching consists on one-on-one consulting. That's where we'll talk with you about business development, starting your business, going through our application process. If you need to be referred to an accountant, we have those types of relationships and we can connect you with one, as well as workshops that we have on business development, starting a business, what type of entity you want to set up, business taxes, financial statements, and different software that you can use like QuickBooks. So we have training that's available throughout the year, and we have the one-on-one consulting when it comes to the coaching. When it comes to capital, we have 4 main programs. We have the Small Business Revolving Loan Program, the Working Capital Loan Program, the Contract Working Capital Loan Program, and the Micro Business Accelerated Loan Program. From time to time, depending on funding and the need of our clients, we do have other programs that are active. For instance, in response to the COVID, we had a COVID relief loan program that was established once the shutdown happened. We were birthed out of a natural disaster. The flood of '94 actually is where we actually got our start as a revolving loan fund when the city of Albany and 4 banks got together to create a fund for businesses that were literally and figuratively underwater. And so we're no novice when it comes to being able to be there for business owners who need help during a crisis. And that was where the COVID relief loan program came into play. We also got additional funding and we were able to offer COVID relief grants this past year to those businesses that suffered a loss and were still having problems getting back on their feet. So those are 2 programs that have been in place since the pandemic. But again, our 4 main programs are the Small Business Revolving Loan Program. That program can be used for major purchases and major uses such as real estate, commercial real estate, equipment, vehicles. The interest rate on that depends on the risk associated with the overall project, but we start at prime and can go up to plus 4 points. And the term depends on what you're using the funds for. So if you are using the funds for real estate, you can have a 20-year term. If you're using the funds for equipment or vehicles, of course, the term will be a lot shorter because of depreciation, but it may be a 5-year long term, 7-year, no longer than 10 years. That's the Small Business Revolving Loan Program. And we can go up to $250,000, especially with bank participation. The Working Capital Loan Program, that's for the shorter term needs, the immediate operational needs like payroll, things like inventory, if you need small repairs done, that term maxes out at 5 years. That interest rate maxes at 2%. Again, it's based on the overall risk associated program. The contractor working capital loan program, that program is for contractors, whether you're in construction or another industry where you actually contract out your services. You can use this program. It maxes out at $20,000. You can use this program to get assistance from us in the form of a loan. And if collateral is an issue, if the entity that awarded the contract is willing to do an assignment to Albany Community Together and you, the contractor, then we will use that assignment as collateral for that loan program. Interest rate maxes out at 10% on that, and the term is no longer than 12 months or the length of the contract. Then last but not least, the Micro Business Accelerator Loan Program, it maxes out at $10,000 and has 4 different steps. You can come in. This is for business owner that doesn't need a lot. They may have some credit issues. They may have some collateral issues. We can be flexible with them with this loan program because the dollar amount starts at $2,000. Then you can come back on step 2 for $3,000. Step 3 is $5,000 and step 4 is $10,000. The first 2 steps, the term is 12 months. The third step can go up to 24 months. And the final step, the 4th step, the $10,000 can go up to 3 years. So those different steps, you can come in at any point where you need those funding. And at the time that you are done using those funds and you've demonstrated a good payment history, you can request to go into another loan program as long as you qualify for that loan program. And the last part is the connections. We're not able to do everything ourselves. We're a small organization. While we are subject matter experts, we do rely on those relationships that we have with verified business resources. So we partner with Georgia Tech Procurement Assistance Center if you want to do government contracting, the Small Business Development Center, UGA, if you need help with the business plan or financial projections, WorkSource Georgia if labor is an issue and you need to try to get some staff on board, GMIN, Albany Community Together also partners with local community and economic development departments for the cities that we serve, as well as chambers for helping with networking opportunities in office space. To date, we have loaned up to $9 million. Most of our lending is gap financing, but we also do sole source financing. We don't compete with banks. So we ask that you go to the bank first. If the bank's not able to do it, then we'll do what we call the sole source financing. If the bank is able to do a portion, we'll do the gap financing. So that's how we reach that 9 million. We have 7.2 million in net assets. We have helped create and retain 810 jobs, and we've offered over 10,000 hours in technical assistance and business development services. That is Albany Community Together, also known as ACT in a nutshell. If you want to reach us, you can go to our website, albanycommunitytogether.com. We're on Facebook, Albany Community Together, Inc. We're on Instagram, ACT_SWGA for Southwest Georgia, and LinkedIn, Albany Community Together, Inc. You can also give us a call at 229-420-4600. That's my time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Tanita, for giving us that presentation and those resources. We had an excellent panel of experts today to discuss capital opportunities across the state and why it's important for small businesses, especially as we go into this period of economic recovery. I think I just read the other day that in 2021, 5.4 million businesses were started. And I know that number is probably just going up. So these are your folks to reach out to if you are looking to finance, if you are looking for expertise, please reach out to them. They are here to serve you. With that, we have about 15 minutes left, and this is going to serve as our question and answer session. So we are taking questions from the audience and the attendees. You are welcome to put any questions in the chat box. Feel free to raise your hand if you would like to speak. You can also utilize the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen to ask any questions. I believe I did see a question in the chat earlier. I'm going to try to find it. Zaji asked, can we in the CNMI USA qualify? And I believe that is the, his volume level is speaking. And I think, I don't know if she's still on. Zaji, were you referring to the USDA loans when you put that comment? I don't know. If you could use the chat or raise your hand, I can let you clarify your question if you're still on with us. we will wait on that. Oh, we have a hand raised. Let's see who this is. Here we go. All right, go ahead, Saji. Thanks for being here with us. If you could unmute and ask your question. I've given you speaking. I'm allowed you to speak, I think. Enable talking. Are you able to unmute? All right, I think we are, if you could put your question in the chat, we will try to get to it, okay? We're gonna go ahead and jump to some questions that we actually put together. The first is gonna be for all of the panelists. What are some steps that entrepreneurs can take today to prepare their business to get loan ready? And that is a popcorn question for anyone. For those of you who distribute loans, who work with folks, what is a way that entrepreneurs can take to get their business to become loan ready?
This is Stephanie. I always recommend that they check their own credit first, to make sure that there's not going to be anything there that would disqualify them from being eligible to get a loan. So, and I would say check all three just to make sure that's there and make sure that the credit is accurate, and then do some research. You don't want to go with the first offer. Make sure that it's the best offer for you and the terms are reasonable and it's not going to make you poor. Like you could get poor by taking a loan that's going to charge a lot. So that's it.
Thanks, Stephanie. Anyone else want to answer that one?
Yeah, right.
Piggyback off of.
You want to go ahead, Tom?
Okay.
Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna piggyback off of what she said for research, not only researching who you're trying to get funds from, but do research on your industry. Be able to create a business plan. It doesn't have to be something that's 30 pages, but be able to tell who you are, yourself, because when you go to a lender, they're going to be asking those questions and wanting to know how you plan on paying them back.
Thank you, Tanita. Philip, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to just say, just kind of three things that I kind of bring up at the beginning with a lot of, entrepreneurs people that are trying to be, go to the entrepreneur space, is make sure that on the business end, you do apply for that EIN, you do have that LLC situated. And then also, again, updated taxes, personal, and if you do have business taxes, everything's updated, because again, a lot of people, when it comes to lending and things of that nature, we see a lot of folks that don't have updated filed taxes. Sometimes they don't even have an EIN or anything of that nature. So we kind of have to start from the bottom or whatnot. But those are just three things.
Thank you, Philip.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing roughly, to reiterate, have your paperwork in order. A lot of us fail to get a lot of support because our paperwork just is not in order. So again, EIN number, Secretary of State registration, business bank account, taxes, just make sure you have all your paperwork together. That's the main thing.
Thank you all. We have one more question in the Q&A. And this is kind of general. So based on your organization, Daphne Simmons would like to know, at the time your organization has received all documents from an applicant, how long does it usually take to close or to get the funding? Like, what's the turnaround?
It's going to vary.
Our turnaround time at Albany Committee.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Our turnaround time is.
Go ahead.
Our turnaround time is generally 30 days from receiving a completed package. We can move faster than that, but we take at the most 30 days. Once we get a completed package, all your documentation that the gentleman and the young lady mentioned earlier, if we get those tax returns back, if we get that business plan and those financial statements and a copy of your business license and all of that, we'll go ahead and review it. Within 30 days, you'll have an answer.
All right, Ricardo.
For our organization, best practice is about between 30 and 60 days. it just depends on if everything that we ask for is in place. So I always tell people, the quicker you can get everything in line, answer all our questions, the better we're able to take the loan to our board to get it approved. So the max usually 60 days, but 30 days is the fastest turnaround time. So.
Thanks, Ricardo. Stephanie, did you have anything?
Yes. It's going to depend on the size of the loan. So for the smaller loans, those can be done in 30 days or less. But when we're dealing with an SBA loan, that tends to take a little longer, can be 45 to 60 days. But it all depends on what you're using as collateral as well. When real estate is involved, it can take a little longer.
Thank you, Stephanie. Karen, did you have anything for the turnaround on any USDA loans or funding?
Yes, Rachel, I'd like to let everyone know, we try to process within 30 to 60 days, but if it's a construction type project, there is an environmental process that we have to go through. So once the lender submits the application to us, then that's when our time frame starts. If it's a debt refinancing, it doesn't take quite as long, but again, just be on the lookout if there's some kind of construction.
Thank you all. We have one more question from Joshua Gray, and he wants to know, are business licenses required to get a loan approval? Does anyone have an answer for that? I guess depending on Stephanie, I see you unmuted.
Yeah, because our loans are all business loans, they all do require business licenses.
Okay, thank you. And that I see head nods from most folks. So that's a yes, Joshua.
And Rachel, just really quick, just to add to Stephanie, yep. Also it needs to be, it has to be not updated, but in good standings as well.
Definitely. And I think this may be dependent on an organization, but Joshua had one more question. What is the turnaround time to be approved for commercial loans for any of the program for purchasing property in the Atlanta area? Is that the same, the 30 or 60 day, depending on the amount, I assume?
Yeah, basically pretty much what Stephanie hit it right on the head. And then unfortunately, I'm not sure running into it now, but appraisals and things of that nature can kind of get outrageous when it comes to titles and stuff like that. So, you know, I've had somebody, we literally got everything in, just a quick example. We got everything in within, I mean, this lady was smoking with it. It's probably 7 to 10 days. She had everything. And I mean, we, as far as finding the appraisal and getting the title work and stuff back with the attorneys, it just kind of held up everything for about 3 or 4 more weeks, to be honest with you.
Thank you all. I guess our last question, and this is kind of open-ended, but besides lending, what does your organization do to support entrepreneurs across the state? So do you offer non-loan capital opportunities, any education, technical assistance, community engagement, mentorship, things like that? I know you briefly spoke on those during the slides, but if you have any other things that you'd like to speak about that your organization does.
I can speak to that. So we do our academies, but we do more one-on-one coaching than anything. I think most of the people who walk through our doors or even inquire, they're missing that one-on-one touch. And to be able to sit down with somebody and spend 30 minutes or an hour, it kind of helps them get their mindset around what being a business owner is going to entail, and also what that process is going to look like. So we enjoy that one-on-one coaching, especially when it comes to the accounting. We find that a lot of the people who walk through the door have financial literacy problems. And so to be able to say, hey, what are you doing at home first? Are you taking care of your personal bills first before you decide to take this leap of faith to walk into this business? Let's make sure your home is taken care of. So that one-on-one coaching is very vital for our organization. I would say anybody's organization that's on here today. So
definitely. Thank you, Ricardo. Anyone else to speak on that? Stephanie, were you gonna?
Yes, we also have women business centers. We have a couple of women business centers that we have established to provide more training and webinars, as well as specific guidance on establishing that business plan and establishing the business licenses and registration. So we do have that, and they can actually provide mentor guidance as well. And I can do that too in certain instances.
Thank you, Stephanie. Joshua also said in the chat, when you say business license, are you referring to being registered with the Secretary of State or a business license with the local city? I believe it's with the state, correct? Yeah, you have to have to do business operations in the state of Georgia. Is it not, Stephanie? I see a head shaking.
They can also be registered because some sole proprietors can operate as with just getting their license within the county, and that's sufficient for us.
Okay. Okay. Well, there is your answer, Joshua. We have about 4 minutes left. So if you do have any other questions, please go ahead and start typing those. Y'all have any recommendations for entrepreneurs that have had, barriers or issues, or may be experiencing any obstacles in getting the necessary capital to start or grow their business?
I always start with the personal financial statement. That's a big thing. Are you whole at home first? You're going to have struggles when it comes to business if you're not able to get a full loan right now. What can we do to get you $3,000, $5,000, $10,000? Let's bear back your product that you're trying to deliver to the community, and let's look at, hey, if we invest $5,000, can that get you started so we can build you up to get that $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 loan eventually? So I always try to take that step. I like how with Tanita was talking about that step loan process, kind of that same concept for somebody walking through the door who just doesn't have the capital to be able to step them through loan processes will allow them to excel their business over time. So,
thank you, Ricardo.
I'd like to add for us as well. We work with business owners that have sometimes had some bankruptcies on their history. If the bankruptcy has been discharged at least 12 months, we'll be willing to work with you. But what I like about our underwriting team, and I'm sure some of the other CDFIs on this panel have the same approach, even if it's a no, we talk to you about ways that you can overcome those barriers specific to your issues. So if it's something that's dealing with credit, we'll ask you to, if it's below 600, we prefer a 600 credit score, ask you to see if you have someone that will be willing to co-sign for you that has a higher credit score and to be willing to personally guarantee the loan in addition to try to get you over that barrier. If it's collateral, we look at other instruments that are outside of maybe your business. So if you don't have a lot of business assets, we'll look at some of your personal assets for collateral. So it just depends on what those challenges are, but our underwriting team is really good at communicating ways to overcome those barriers and giving people second chances because everyone deserves a chance.
I think that is a perfect way to end today's discussion. Everyone deserves a chance. There are resources out there for you all. Thank you all for attending today. Jamal, I'm going to turn it back over to you with any last minute remarks, but really thank you to all of our panelists for taking the time to speak about this important issue as we continue moving forward into this period of economic recovery and resilience for small businesses.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Rachel. And so again, as it is now 1 o'clock, we are out of time, but I think I would like to reiterate and thank all of the panelists for a great conversation, discussion, and sharing of resources and access to capital opportunities. Please be on the lookout soon. We will have this recording posted to our website and be available for sharing. And then around the discussion on building a resilient small business economy, I think this is something that's so important that the partnership, number one, is actually looking to, get the message and word out about. So again, I just want to thank you all again for joining us today. Please continue to monitor our website for the upcoming roster for future Smarter Together webinars. And if there are any questions, please feel free to follow up with any of the panelists, Rachel or myself, if you have any questions. Thank you all.